Okay, let's do a Warlock. So we're looking for Defile is like the greatest card. There it is. Oh man, bamboozling me right away. I want the Defile. Can I pass the Stonehill Defender? So we've talked about this before. Stonehill Defender hugely favors the class, so you could get a Void Lord. But a lot of the time you get some of the crummy demons, and I always forget exactly how many there are, but there are a lot of them. There's the Felhound where you have to discard cards. Homunculus is sometimes one of the best ones you can get from it, but there's Homunculus. There's the 1/3. So the Void Lord I think is 1 out of 7 taunts that are Warlock specific. One of them is just an elemental, the Tarlurker, which is actually really good. But the upside of getting a Lich King or a Void Lord might be better. Yeah, Warlock. We're doing Warlock for Kung Fu. And you definitely want to have a Hooked Reaver in your deck because if you can get it to 7/7, it's some of the best value. Wow, this is actually a really tough first choice. Kind of defines our deck moving forward by quite a bit. By quite a bit. I'm going to go with the Defender. I'm going to go with the Defender. Where hopefully, if you don't get a Defile, there are other options. There's Hellfire. There's a couple Spellstones. There's a couple ways to clear the board otherwise. There's not always ways to get the value of getting a whole nother card. So I think it's probably worth taking the Defender. Because the Defile you have to set up. So you have to then get cards that help set you up a Defile, right? Like this Imp is a great one. The Defile could be a miss. So can the Defender, but the Defender's always a 1/4. Okay. We made our choice. We have to. Okay, that's it. I'm still stuck up on that one, but we've made our choice. So we've had Shadow Belts before, and they're not actually the best direct damage for Warlock. They're pretty low on the tier. But if we don't get a Spellstone, we might regret having passed that up. But let's get another 3-drop. Shadow Flame, surprisingly, has an extreme impact on the game. People will play around Defile. They'll play around Hellfire. A Shadow Flame sometimes is a little bit like the Blood Knight. If you're not expecting exactly this, it gets you a big clear. Now we have to have something to throw into it. A Pumpkin Peasant at 4/2 isn't a bad one. I think we want the Twilight Drake though. But if we pass up every board clear, then we're in trouble. The Shadow Flame can be miss. But I think now we gotta take the board clear here. I might regret it if we don't get something else. So we've got 2 3-drops. We don't need the Lookout. So Defender is higher up on the tier list. Yeah, if you go by tier list for first pick, at least go by it for first pick, right? I actually like having the heal. There's a lot of times we don't have heal and we're really regretting it. Dark Possession's way better here. So Blaze Caller has the highest ceiling out of these 3. Smith is bad for us. I definitely want to have a poison in this deck, but we need some fatties. Let's take the Blaze Caller and try to make it work. Okay, there's an elemental it works with. Easy peasy. There's another one. Okay, we don't need another one. We need the Death Speaker for some trades. We don't have any 4-drops yet. And you could combo this guy with like Defender or something. Ooh, there we go. These are all really good. So the Piper, I almost always pass on, even though it's good. It just never... Witchwood is full of 4-drops that are 3/3, right? We've been seeing a lot of those lately. What they've done for the 4-drop is they've gone with having the 4/5s be kind of the basic, right? They've got the Yeti from the classic, and then they've done a lot of cool things with what 4-drops do. They've given them a lot of Battle Cry. Before that Battle Cry, you pay. The Life Drinker is a 3/3. The Duskbreaker is a 3/3. They're all really good though, but I think that this is one of the worst ones. And in Arena, it doesn't give you the board presence. It doesn't give you that control. It just gives you a card draw, which is good, but not good enough, especially compared to a Bone Drake or a Doom Guard. So a Doom Guard, we have to have the demon tags, right? It's possible that we get combos going here, like with the Lackey. Like right now we're only missing one combo of the Lackey, so we have to have the Doom Guard over the Bone Drake. Bone Drake has the possibility of the high impact though. We've already got one defender, and we have to have a Spellstone. So I might be upset if we see another Spellstone, but you never know. So Summoning Portal, I think compared to these two, are actually better. So an Echo, it's possible if we get a Phantom Militia that on with 10 mana, we could get a Summoning Portal and 6 Phantom Militia. That's kind of asking a lot, though. I don't know if we pass it up over a 3-drop. It's cutesies, but it's probably not good enough just because it does work with Echo, right? Let's take the Hatchling. Let's get a 3-drop going here. What are our 4-drops? Just the Brewmaster? I think Harvest Golem's probably better overall, though. What do our 3-drops look like? We've got good 3-drops going. We don't have any 2-drops yet, but River Crockless is just so crap. Especially since Warlocks have a couple good 1 and 2-drops. We've got the Homunculus, which is Warlock specific. We've got the Librarian, which is Warlock specific. We've got the Imp, which is Warlock only. So they've got quite a bit of low drops that are better than some other classes. What do we have for Big Butt? Are we going to regret passing this guy? Yeah, I think we might. Let's take him. Okay, there we go. So there's a Librarian, but I'm not going to take him over a Bone Marrow or a Syphon Soul. That's just crazy talk. So yes, they do have more 1-drops for the class, but we can't take the Librarian over a Syphon Soul for sure, and maybe not over a Bone Marrow. Wow, those are both really good. I actually would love to have a Librarian in the deck. Obviously, they're amazing, especially since we've got a Spellstone. What do we have? Do we have anything that takes out... Oh, man. We've got to take the Syphon Soul. We just got to. Plus, we might see a Fungal Mancer, which is better than Bone Marrow nowadays. I'm not taking Toothy Chest. You can't pay me money to take Toothy Chest. We have gotten so sad about Toothy Chest a million times. What about a 1-drop that helps our Spellstones? Yeah, the Spellstone synergy with that is just too good. Okay, I don't want 2 Shadow Flames, and I definitely don't want a Prowler. That's just too bad. They're in the top buckets because of how it works out with the Spellstone, right? It's just such a good combo, and it's the card draw, but can't take it over the Syphon Soul. It just makes such a huge impact. Do I take the Prowler? I really hate Prowler, but I really hate Fiendish Circle too. Is there any game where I get extreme value out of 2 Shadow Flames? I mean, it's possible. If we Shadow Flame them once, they definitely don't expect the second Shadow Flame. But we still got 14 cards left to pick, and I'd much rather have a Hellfire or a Defile. Maybe the Fiendish Circle's good. Have you guys ever had this work for you, though? Ever? The Librarian is better than Bone Marrow in the tier list. Wow. I could see that. It's a sad day for Bone Marrow, though, huh? Gosh, Night Prowler is so bad. I really hate Night Prowler. You didn't, Poyoya, you've never seen the Fiendish Circle? I mean, it's a tough one. They've done a lot in the past for getting 1/1s in play for Warlocks, right? And this is definitely the worst one. Implosion could be bad sometimes when you only got 2 damage out of it, but at least it still did 2 damage. Double Shadow Flame. Okay, we'll see it. Oh man, there's the damage to myself and the 2-drop, but I need the Defile. Hopefully we get one more offer later. Okay, there's the Plated Beetle, getting a 2-drop going. What do we have? I think we actually have pretty good late game taunt. We don't need an Etten, do we? So we can never level up the Thug, but a solid 3/3 is nothing to shake a stick at. But maybe we can get the Pterodax going. What are our 4-drops? You know, the Pterodax has the highest ceiling. Let's do that one. No, I'm not taking a third Shadow Flame. You can't make me. What are our 5-drops? Just Doomguard and Tarlurker. Okay, let's get the Spider going. I would love to have that guy work out. 2 Death Speakers. 2 Death Speakers are probably better than 2 Shadow Flames. Let's get the heal. There's the Bone Drake. Alright, we're starting to work it out here. We might need the Wax Elemental just for the Elemental tag, huh? We just have one? I mean, the Wax Elemental we could sit on forever. Like, we could sit on it until we need Blaze Caller. We're basically drafting the Wax Elemental just for Blaze Caller at this point. Is that better than Surgent? Is it worth holding on to the Wax Elemental forever or having it in case we get in trouble over the push of the Sergeant? It might be. I think it is. Our deck's got a lot of late game. Though the Sergeant does combo with Shadow Flame, right? Kinda. For 5 mana, you can give one of your minions +2 attack and then blow it up. Yeah, I'm thinking the Wax Elemental not because we'll need the taunt that much, but because we don't have that many elemental tags for Blaze Caller. And Blaze Caller, though 7 mana 6/6s are great. I just love using 7 mana for a 6/6. I think that probably he's better if we hit the battle cry. So holding on to the Wax Elemental just for that I think is probably worth it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be sad if we hit another really good Elemental, but okay, at least we get another late game here. Do I have to take the Shadow Bolt? What do we have for direct damage? You know what? We've got a lot of... Let's get board control. Let's get board control with the Pyromancer. Pyromancer and Defile's where it's at. Okay, so here's some more direct damage. Soulfire is so much better than Feeding Time. The mana. But we've got to take Feeding Time just because we can't discard some of our late game. I mean, if we're sitting on Syphon Soul on turn 5, if we're sitting with Bone Drake and Syphon Soul in our hand, we can't discard them. We just can't. We don't need a 5-drop. Let's take the direct damage, I guess. Oh man. Okay, so we've got one defender. Would be nice to have a second one. We've got one Spellstone. It'd be nice to have a second one. I don't think we need the 6-drop. We've got pretty good late game going on here. The only thing this guy's good for is at least leveling up the Spellstones. And I don't think we have anything that levels up Spellstones besides Reaver. Oh, and Dark Possession. Okay, we need the other Spellstone then. We have to take it. It's just too good. Nesting Rock over those guys. So many Shadow Flames. What is happening here? It's like, come on. We don't need this many Shadow Flames. So our curve is way too top heavy. We need the Crawler. Okay, here we go. So we didn't see a silence. I always like to have a silence. But we've got a really good deck other than that. We've got a really good deck. We need a little bit of luck out of the Defender and the Dark Possession, right?